everybody, to prepare ourselves for this practice, I thought it would be nice just to stand up for a moment, because I'm sure in the new normal, a lot of us are sitting a lot longer these days than we would if we were in an office, for example. So just inviting everybody to stand up for a moment, maybe standing with your feet about hip width distance apart and with a slight bend in the knee, and just connecting with the ground here for a moment. If you like, you can close your eyes, or if you prefer, just lowering the gaze to the floor and softening the gaze, whatever feels right for your balance and whatever feels right for you here in this moment. And we're just going to, what I like to say, drop in. So perhaps you've had a busy day, your mind is a bit busy, you have the chattering mind. So let's take an opportunity just to drop in to the body. So connecting with the feet on the ground, feeling the stability in the legs, perhaps the weight of the arms by the side, feeling the uplift in the spine. And for a moment, just connecting with the sensations of the breath in the body, so the rise and the fall of the breath. So rather than thinking about breathing, we're tuning into the sensations of the breath and using this very soft and friendly and curious attention as we follow the sensations of the inhale and the exhale. Perhaps noticing that it's not just the chest and the belly that moves with the breath, but our shoulders and our arms are slightly moving with the breath too, maybe even the legs. And now opening up the focus again, letting go of the breath, opening up to the body and opening up our awareness, getting a sense of the room around us. And when you're ready, slowly just opening the eyes and maybe shaking from leg to leg. So getting connected with the body. And now inviting you just to stretch however the body needs you to stretch right now. So I'm going to just raise my arms up. You're stretching the neck. So just doing what feels good for you, what feels good for your body right now. And again, let's take a moment just to shake it out as well, if this feels good for you. So just maybe shaking out any of the stress or tension that's been building up in the body throughout the day. Just taking a moment to stretch that out, shake out the legs, feeling the sensations in the body as you shake it out. And when you're ready, just coming to stand still again for a moment. Noticing anything that's changed in the body since we did the stretching and the shaking. So you can feel your arms more, or the breath. And now again, opening the eyes if you had them closed, and we're going to make the transition back to seating, but keep your mindful awareness with the body as we transition back to seating. Sitting with our feet flat on the ground, our hands one on top of each other in our laps, bringing an active but relaxed spine, and closing the eyes or lowering the gaze to the floor and softening the gaze, whichever you prefer. And again, dropping in, connecting with the feet on the floor. Pressure of the chair under the legs. And again, for a moment, narrowing our focus to the sensations of the breath. So perhaps feeling the cool air as it comes through the nostrils or mouth. Feeling in the body this subtle rise and fall of the breath in the chest and the belly. Breathing in and knowing that you're breathing in. Breathing out and knowing that you're breathing out. So keeping this very soft and kind and friendly attention with the sensations of the breath. You may notice that the mind is wandering off in thought. So just knowing that's no big deal. As soon as you become aware that the mind's wandered, just noticing where the mind's gone. You can label it thinking, and just returning the focus back to the sensations of the breath in the body. Knowing that you can just leave those thoughts there in the background and keep this soft and gentle focus on the sensations of the breath. You may also notice perhaps your attention's drawn to sounds or body sensations. Again, as soon as you become aware that the mind's wandered, just noticing where the mind's gone, and then letting the sounds, the body sensations, the thoughts go. They can just be there in the background, coming back to the sensations of the breath in the body. Where is your mind? Again, if the mind's wandered, just noticing without judging. Knowing that you have a choice where you put your attention, you have a choice whether you engage in thoughts. The first step is the awareness of the mind wandering. That gives you the opportunity to gently shift the focus back to the anchor of the breath. Again, if the mind's drawn away from the breath, just bringing a curious attention to where the mind's wandered to. And then letting go, or letting it be in the background, coming back to the sensations of the breath. And now, if it feels good for you, letting go of the focus on the breath, and we'll start to open up our attention to sounds. So similar to thoughts coming and going, sounds arise out of the silence and disappear back into the silence. So bringing your curious attention to any sounds you can hear, tuning into the quality of the sounds, the pitch, the tone, the volume. Perhaps it's very quiet where you are, so just noticing what the silence is like. You may notice how you're drawn to some sounds. Some sounds may be pleasant, others unpleasant, and others further still neutral. Noticing any thoughts or emotions that arise towards the sounds. Bringing a curious and friendly awareness to the sounds coming and going. If you find the mind wandering, just remembering that's no big deal, that's what minds do. As soon as you become aware that the mind's wandered, just letting the thoughts go or letting them be there in the background and shifting the focus back to sounds. And now inviting you to let go of your focus on sounds if that feels good for you. Let's bring our awareness to any sensations that we can feel on the surface of the skin in this moment. So getting a felt sense of sensations on the skin. So rather than using the thinking mind to explore this, we're using our awareness and we're getting a felt sense of the sensations on the skin. So these sensations could include whether the skin that we're exploring is warm or cold, tense or relaxed. Maybe you feel tingling or other sensations. Perhaps you notice how sensations are constantly moving and changing, coming and going. You may also notice some sensations are pleasant, some may be unpleasant, and again some neutral. So just noting as you explore with a curious awareness these sensations on the surface of the skin. Perhaps you're not feeling anything, or only very, very subtle or slight sensations, and that's okay too, just exploring what that's like. Either to have no sensations or to have only very subtle sensations. Now letting go, if it feels good to you, of the focus on the skin. And what we'll do now is just for a moment, we're going to sit in what we call open awareness or choiceless awareness. So from this calm center of the silent observer, just watching moment by moment, noticing where your attention is drawn. So it could be thoughts, body sensations, sounds, but keeping our awareness in this centered, calm space and allowing everything else to just pass through. Watching these things come and go. And just knowing the breath is always there to steady you. You find you're getting lost in thoughts or drawn away from the calm, still center. Watching what's unfolding moment by moment. Curious, friendly, soft focus. And now inviting you to just take a few longer, deeper breaths. Following the breath in the body. And opening up the awareness to take in the body here, seated in the chair, connecting with the feet on the ground, the pressure of the chair under our legs, the hands in the lap. Getting a sense of the space the body's taking up. Getting a sense of the room around you. And when you're ready, slowly opening your eyes and returning to the screen. So a few practices intermingled there. If anybody has any questions or anything they'd like to share from that practice, please feel free to do so in the chat box. And any challenges as well that you might have had, because it's quite normal to face challenges in the practices as well. And often just letting go and accepting what's arisen can help with that. So there's still time to leave comments and questions if you wish, but in the meantime, I will hand over to Natasha and we can address any comments either before the practice or after the next practice. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Bernadette. There is a comment from Katerina, I think. It says, my mind was drifting so often into my negative thoughts. Yeah. Welcome, Katerina.
Yes, that's it.
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, this is what the mind does, this mind wandering, often automatic negative thoughts. But the first thing is really the awareness of the thoughts. As soon as we become aware of the thoughts, that's when we have a choice whether we engage in them or not. And so we can just either let them go, or if they're very sticky, it's hard to let them go, just letting them be. So almost like a humming in the background, just allowing them to be there and coming back to the anchor. And yeah, sometimes labeling thinking can help as well, just to create some distance from it. But this practice of mind wandering and bringing it back, mind wandering and bringing it back, is what helps us to create this focus muscle in a way as well. So it's all part of the practice, basically. Thank you for sharing.
I'll add to that, because Katarina said it was challenging to come back, and that's always the case. So with the idea is like not to get frustrated about it. It's challenging. So we just do it again and again and again and again. So there's no target to meet. It's not like we shouldn't get lost, or we should get lost only 10 times in a meditation. There's no, we need to get away of this idea that the experience of the meditation should be like this or should be like that. If it's challenging to come back, we just notice how challenging it is, and we get frustrated. But we come back anyway, and we come back, and that's it. And yeah, thank you. She says thank you. But and then you have to remember that every meditation is different. One day we're tired, overwhelmed, whatever, and it's hard, and then next day is okay. So the idea is not to get stuck to what the mind comments as difficult or challenging, or it doesn't matter if it's difficult or challenging, we do it again and again and again. Yeah. Right, so we're gonna go a bit deeper.